Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. Apologies for the previous episode that we posted about our brother was saying that he's a sangoma and he was teaching about the rituals that he does. So sometimes I think it is important because I was even shocked. I did not even know that when you are going around doing your business, someone else might target you, trying to steal your luck. Even when he said that usually they target those that do not even know that they have the gift of good luck. So it is important that if you know some of these things, you know also how to pray against them, how to defend yourself, and not to be careless as well when you are in some social gatherings whereby there will be some ceremonies that will be done, because that is where they can get your personal things that they will use for rituals. So let us move over to the confession that I want to share with you. The confession reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story? My name is Temba, and I have a confession that I never thought that I would share. The truth is, I stole my brother's life. I used Ukuthwala to ruin him, to take everything that he had and to make it my own. I know that it sounds heartless, and maybe it is, but I have lived my whole life in his shadow, always second best, always the forgotten one. I was tired of it, and I was sick of watching him succeed whilst I was struggling, so I did what I had to do. Growing up, my brother was always the favorite. He was smart, charming, and my parents, they loved him a lot, and they were even open enough whenever there would be visitors. They would always say that he was the best in everything that he did. They gave him everything, better clothes, better opportunities, even better love. I was left with hand-me-downs and empty praises, always expected to be better with what little I had. So he went to university. He got a really good job, and before I knew it, he was living the kind of a life that I had always dreamt of. He had a beautiful wife, a big house, a beautiful car. Meanwhile, I was barely getting by. It was as if God was laughing at me. He had a car, come on, and then the company that he was working for decided to give him a car, another car. So now the wife had her own car, and my brother had his own. And I was just barely scraping by, working your odd jobs, and I was doing whatever so that I could survive. I was the black sheep of the family. I watched him, and year after year, he was living the life that I wanted. So in my heart, I started hating him. The resentment was building up inside of me like a poison that I could not shake. I hated him, not just because he had everything, but because he did not even seem to realize how lucky he was. He acted like it was all odd to him, like he deserved to be on top. The more that I watched him, the more I knew that I could not take it anymore. I needed to find a way to take what was his and to make it mine. Then one day, I had some guys talking about Ukuthwala. These guys, like one of the guy, he had came close to the car wash where I used to work. So the guy, when they were drunk, he then started laughing about the way that he was blowing money on this other girl because she did not have much to live. She did not have much to live. This guy, he was talking as if he was God or someone who has private conversations with God. He even stated the details as to how she was going to die. And indeed, it happened. This girl, she was from our location. The guy was from the suburbs. The girl died exactly the same way that her blesser, I had heard him talking to one of the other guys. So I kept on hanging around, and when he came back, that was when I approached him. I know it was very hard, but I had to do it. So I spoke with him, and I started helping the other guy who was working in that car wash. He was a good friend of mine. We used to share a lot of cigarettes together. So as I was helping him, when I got the opportunity, that was when I went and I spoke to him and I said, Grootman, I know what you once discussed with this other friend of yours. It is just that today he's not here. Please, can you assist me? the guy looked at me and he was really rude. When I saw that the other guy who was busy washing his car was now returning back, that was when I told him about everything that I had heard overheard the last time. He then looked at me and he said, "Did you tell anyone?" And I said, "No, I did not tell anyone, because I know that this is the only opportunity that I have in this lifetime." He then said, I like you a lot. So what do you want to do once you get the money?" And then that guy finally came and he started doing his job. And then he told me that I was supposed to call him. At that time, life was so hard. Even the phone that I was using, he laughed at me because it had rubber bands all over just to hold the battery. Anyway, he said, "You are going to be fine. You will be okay." And after we had spoken, I did not go ahead with it because I knew that there were some sacrifices that were going to be needed. But still, I then went to his house. When I went to his house, the moment that I saw his daughter, I said, "Is this worth it or not?" The daughter, it was as if she was crawling on the lawn, as if she was a worm. The way that she was fat, you would even feel sorry for her. She could not even fit in a wheelchair. This girl, she has since passed away. He later told me that he really feels so sad, but the way that he spoke it, there are people out there that are heartless, and when you look at them, you won't even think that they are that heartless. He did not refer to his daughter as a human being, but as his sperm. He said that he feels so sorry for his sperm, but at the same time he is happy that his sperm gave him all the wealth that he has. And he then told me that we could go to this other village where there was one who could assist me. And then I agreed. When we got there, that was when I was told to buy my brother a gift. The gift that I had to buy him, that was the gift that was going to kill him, but not instantly, because there were stages. After I would have given him a gift, this was going to connect him to the shrine of that man who was assisting me. So I hustled and I bought a good watch for him. After I had bought that watch, I knew that now the spirits of the shrine, they were going to connect to him. When I returned back to the healer, that was when I was told that I had to try as much as I could to get one of his personal items, and I did not know how the hell I was going to get his personal item. Then luck was on my side. There was a time he wanted to celebrate, so we went out and we had some few drinks together. On our way back, I was sitting at the back of his car, so I looked amongst the cooler box and the whatnot. I then saw that there was a t-shirt there, and I instantly recognized it, for it belonged to my brother. I took it, I then hid it, and then when I went back to that shrine, that was when I gave it to the healer. This time I went alone, for the other guy who made me to do these rituals, he was busy. I was told that these rituals that I was about to do, for them to give me quick money, blood was needed. It needed blood, and human blood. I had to tie my brother's life to that shrine, and I then had to sacrifice. I sacrificed a chicken which was black in color, but the first thing that the healer did was that he made me to kneel down. After he had knelt down, that was when he grabbed two chickens. There was one that was black and the other one was white. So he came and he made me to hold the black chicken, and he said that he was transferring all of that negative energy from my body into that black chicken. Instantly, that was when that chicken died. And then he gave me the white chicken, and it said that this was going to represent all that my brother had, and he made me to hold that chicken. Still, I needed to sacrifice, for the chicken represented my brother, and then I had to slaughter it. I slaughtered the chicken, and when the blood was flowing, I was told to say that. As I was saying, "You, my brother," I was pointing at that chicken. "You are going to die. Everything that belongs to you will be mine. Spiritually, everything that belongs to you, it is going to be mine." And then the chicken died. After the chicken had died, I then returned back home. and the waiting started. I waited and I waited. When the year was about to come to an end, that was when I received a phone call from my mom. She was screaming in pain. I smiled because at that time I was working as a security. I was working as a security at this other clinic. That was when I received that phone call. I smiled, and then my mom told me that my brother had been involved in an accident. She was scared to tell me that he was no more, but I knew that my brother was no more. And then that is how I started making my money. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.